everybody, the Shocking into 1000 name reporting for duty, welcoming you to a little side video about some announcement kind of thing or whatever. I'm not going to be playing this music for too long, obviously, because I got accused of copyright last time I used that. Because, obviously you do know the actual theme song of that song. It's actually Big Blue from Mario Kart 8. And Nintendo actually accused me of copyright one time when I was doing Luigi's Hidden Mansion, saying that the song was from Super Mario 3D World when really it wasn't. So I'm not really going to be using music all the way through. Now, the last time you saw me do a recording, I was basically doing some Pokemon battles against some trainers in Real Game Tower in my Pokemon Coliseum Let's Play. I'm still in the middle of doing that at the minute, and I'm also still in the middle of doing my Let's Play of Over the Hedge. So you're probably wondering, what am I doing this video for? Well, the answer to that will be, you notice that when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out, as well as other games in the past that Nintendo come up with for X and Y, sorry, for Nintendo 3DS, sorry. My brain's not in gear today, obviously you can tell, because it never is. But anyway, Nintendo introduced Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon as a new game to be released on the 17th of November 2017. And I've seen quite a few people, other than there's other YouTubers, saying that they want to have possible Alola forms that have not been introduced before in Sun and Moon. Because I'm not able to pinpoint every single one, but I definitely recall some of them being about Meowth, Persian, Rattata, Raticate, Vulpix, Ninetales, Sandshrew, Sandslash, Dugtrio, etc. So, this video is basically going to be my own top 10. But I've actually created 3 top 10 lists. And all of them have like 30 different Pokemon. One of them is basically a top 10 wanted Mega Pokemon for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Because as you remember, the last time Nintendo introduced Mega Evolution was in Generation 6. Because that's when it was first introduced. They introduced certain Megas like the Kanto starter Pokemon, the event Pokemon of Blaziken, and many others. But then when Omega Ruby came out, they introduced even more Megas. But then when Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, they didn't introduce any more. But there are some Mega Evolutions that have been introduced in a total of 48, as far as I recall. 48 Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, and yet not every single one of them has yet to be introduced in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Because as you probably might not recall, we've actually received quite a few events based on Mystery Gift involving us receiving the Mega Stones. The most previous one that we've had so far is the one where you obtain the Steelixite, the Houndomite, the Pidgeotite, and the Heliconite. Those 4 Mega Stones, you probably might recall who they are for, but in case you don't, then if you play Generation 6, you might want to have a look at it. So anyway, I'm going to be doing all 3 top 10s, but I'm going to be doing them in separate videos. So, this video is basically going to be the top 10 most wanted Mega Pokemon for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon that I really want. The other 2 top 10, I'm not even going to mention them just yet because I want it to fairly be a surprise. Besides, for one thing, you can already tell which top 10 is going to be because of the title in the bottom before you even watch the video from the very beginning. Because it'd be like on YouTube, there's a thumbnail of an actual video, you click on that, and, well, technically, you kind of get a picture of what's to be installed. So, many people have actually, like, as I mentioned, created a lot of top 10 moments, but these are going to be my top 10 moments. Well, not technically moments, just like this is basically a list of the top 10 most wanted Mega Evolved Pokemon that I want. So, I'm going to like turn my iPad around. I'm not going to be able to successfully show my screen that well because I'm not allowed to like flip my camera around on my iPad while I'm in the middle of recording. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video recording, and then I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to like crop them both together, okay? So we'll do just that. Okay then, so here we go. This is the top 10 most wanted Pokemon to have for a Mega Evolution. Starting at number 10, we have got Arcanine. Now, many of you probably might hate me for suggesting this, but there's a reason why I wanted to have Arcanine to be a Mega and not to have an actual Alola form. Because, in case you're probably unfamiliar with the whole gist of Ninetales and Arcanine, ever since Red and Blue came out, only Arcanine could be found in Red, Ninetales can be found in Blue. But they could be found as a Growlithe as well as a Vulpix. But in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they did the same thing. In Heart Gold, they was only allowed to show you a Growlithe, and in Soul Silver, they was only allowed you to catch a Vulpix. And since Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, they introduced an Alola form for Vulpix and Ninetales, but not for Growlithe and Arcanine, which got me thinking, because I actually did create this list last night. I thought, what if in one game, one of the two Pokemon between Vulpix and Growlithe will have an Alola form, while the other one has a Mega? Because, like I said, you can only catch Growlithe in Heart Gold, which means Vulpix missed the opportunity to be in Heart Gold. But in Soul Silver, Growlithe was not able to be caught in there, so Growlithe missed the opportunity for that. And Growlithe missed the opportunity to have an Alola form, so why not have Ninetales miss the opportunity to have a Mega? Now, personally, I haven't really put much thought into what types and also abilities I could have for these Pokemon, but there are some that I have come up with and some that I haven't. So, without any further ado, number 10 is for Arcanine. And now for number 9, Kingler. Now, I actually noticed that nobody has actually suggested anything for Kingler involving Alola form as well as Mega. There's a reason why I decided for Kingler to have a Mega Stone, because he doesn't really show enough love for you. And I think it can be a really aggressive Pokemon, but at the same time is not really defensive. So I thought of going for Kingler, mainly because of the fact that you notice that one of his pincers is actually bigger than the other. But if you give it a Mega Stone and you Mega Evolve it, he'll actually have 2 big pincers. And his typing would be slightly different, because you know Kingler is a plain water type, right? Well, what if you Mega Evolved it and he became a water steel type with the ability Steel Worker to boost the power of steel type moves? That's what I thought of doing for this Kingler. And to make his stats change a bit, we'd probably suggest that he would be more of a defensive Pokemon than an offensive Pokemon. Because I can't think at the top of my head what the Pokemon stats are like, but I do still think that Kingler deserves a Mega. Okay, now for number 8. Electivire. Now, many people obviously love Electivire, and so do I. The most common moves that you would normally teach Electivire would be Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, and Cross Chop, which actually is a really good moveset for it. But the thing is, you don't personally want to have a Pokemon that might have a move that's a chance of missing, which Electivire does not. So I thought, why not make it even better? Because he does have the main ability in Motor Drive, so why not give Electivire a Mega Stone and give him the ability No Guard? So if he's dealing with any ground type Pokemon who use Dig, or flying type Pokemon that use Fly, you can use Ice Punch while they are out of harm's way, still hit them, and it'll knock them out. I think that Electivire should have a massive upgrade in his physical attack, as well as his special attack as well. Because I think many people often have wanted to have a hybrid Electivire, and giving him a plus 30 in physical attack, plus 20 in special attack, probably might drop his speed, they probably might drop his defense stats a bit, but keep his speed exactly the same. So, yeah. You kind of understand where I'm coming from with this. So, without said, I would love to have Electrify to have a Mega Stone. Same with Magmortar too, because if Electrify may get one, then Magmortar deserves one too. I didn't put Magmortar in the list as well, because obviously there wasn't enough room. But I do want both Electrifier and Magmortar to be included. Okay, now for number 7. By the way, I'm really terrible holding my iPad for the camera angle. For number 7, Rhyperior. Now Rhyperior, most people often love this Pokemon. I've actually used one once before and it does pack a punch. But it does come with a little bit of a cost of the fact that, well, it cannot really take any hits involving grass and water. So why not make it become a Mega Pokemon where it actually changes one of its types? I think it should change the ground typing and replace it with, I'm probably going to regret saying this, but I think Rhyperior is going to be, for a Mega, to be a rock and, trying to think, a rock and steel type. I think Rhyperior should be a rock steel type because the horn on its neck does resemble the steel. Does resemble metal, in other words. Having Rhyperior to be a rock steel type, probably have filter for the ability so it numbs out the super effective attacks. So, actually no, scratch that. Make him a plain rock type. So it rules out the ground type, have filter for the ability, and he becomes a plain rock type when he's Mega Evolved. I think that would make Rhyperior really aggressive, especially with the fact that he cannot take a single hit involving grass and water, so why not make it become ×4 to about 1.5. Okay, now for number 6, I've chosen Ariados. Now I know you're thinking, why Ariados? Well, I wanted to actually use an Ariados in a team, and when I looked at the moveset that it learns, I noticed it does not learn a lot of decent moves to help defeat his weaknesses while at the same time giving enough stab boost moves like X-Scissor and Poison Jab. Now Ariados also is not really good in his stats, let's be honest. And I think Ariados does deserve a major upgrade involving Mega Evolution. I don't know if it might work, but it's always worth a try. I think with Ariados he might either keep the bug type and get rid of the poison, and possibly replace it with... let's try to think of a type that's not been introduced much. I'm thinking Ariados should be a bug rock type. I know, for one thing, we have had Olmoldo with a bug rock type, but it's the only bug rock type I believe has actually been created. So I think having a bug rock type Mega of Ariados may be useful because that means we got more than one bug rock type Pokemon then. And also, it will help Ariados become more defensive, if you know what I mean. It might learn a lot more variety of moves, it might help cover other Pokemon's weaknesses as well as its own, but you never know. So, yeah, Ariados is actually going to be member number 6. For member number 5, we have got Kingdra. Now, I obviously love using Kingdra. I have a unique strategy involving him, because he's like the same typing as Palkia, which makes him very unique. But because of the fact that his pre-evolved form can have the ability of Sniper or Poison Point for the ability, I'm thinking, why not make this Seahorse a Mega that involves him becoming a brand new typing, I believe, of Poison Dragon to go along with Dragouge. And I know, as soon as I said Poison Dragon saying a brand new typing, I remembered Dragouge and thought, oh, hang on, that's not a brand new type. But yeah, I would love to see a Poison Dragon Mega Evolved form of Kingdra. And maybe he would actually gain the ability Poison Touch, because he has Poison Point for the ability, and we know an Alola Muck has that ability, Poison Point. Well, Poison Touch, sorry. So why not make Kingdra have that ability when it Mega Evolves? Just to make it a little bit more unique. Now for number 4, we have got Wailord. Now I know you're thinking, nobody has actually suggested Wailord to have either an Alola form or a Mega. This may be a first. I'm thinking Wailord to be a water flying, weirdly enough, because you know him as a blimp Pokemon. But when he Mega Evolves, he'll evolve from a whale into an actual blimp, which will make total sense. He can have the ability Aerialate for the ability, so he'll turn normal type moves into flying type moves. He'll be a lot more defensive in his special attack, special defense. It may have a little bit more of an upgrade in special defense, as in physical defense. I'm really not thinking straight today. And yeah, I think Wailord, as much as the fact that he has high HP, I think he deserves to have a little bit more in the defense side as well when he Mega Evolves. His special attack can be dropped, and his physical attack can be boosted, and his speed be dropped as well. So let's say that his speed drops by 20, his special attack drops by 20, his physical attack gets boosted up by 10, and physical defense gets boosted up by 10, but special defense gets boosted up by 20. So it makes it a lot more available for Wailord to be used in a battle, considering that not many people often use it. Now for number 3, we have got Flygon. Now without a doubt, everybody has actually wanted to see a Mega Evolution for Flygon, yet we never ever got it. Even I would love to see a Mega Evolution for Flygon. And without a doubt, one person actually did suggest this, and even I'm suggesting this, to make Flygon a Bug Dragon type to have Swarm as his Mega ability. Because that would boost the power of Bug type moves, it'll become really fast, it'll become really aggressive, and he'll be able to take a little bit more damage, involving the fact that he's gotten rid of his quad disadvantage to Ice. So he might still not be able to take many hits, but at least he's not dealing with the Ice type anymore. Also, with the fact, with him being a Bug Dragon type, I'm thinking of him being a hybrid attacker. So his physical and special attack will be exactly the same, and he will be able to learn the move Flamethrower, considering the fact that he is indeed a dragon. So yeah, with him being a dragonfly, it's fair enough the fact that he deserves to be a Bug Dragon type, to learn Flamethrower, to be a balanced attacker, be a little bit less defensive or whatever, but you know what I mean. Now, for number 2, this is the last single type, well, not single type, this is the last single Pokemon I actually chose, which is Cryogonal. Nobody has any love for Cryogonal, let's be honest. Every single time when somebody sees him in the wild, they think that he's crying because nobody loves him. And believe me, that is true. The reason why Cryogonal keeps crying is because nobody loves him, and also the fact that he wasn't given any evolution as well as, well, anything really. So giving Cryogonal a Mega will change a lot of variety involving him. Now, call me stupid, but I'm thinking Cryogonal should have a Mega Evolution to become an Ice Steel type. I know, that means it's got a quad disadvantage to fighting. And I'm not much of a fan involving quad disadvantages. But I think it makes sense of Cryogonal being an Ice Steel type, considering the fact that he is a snowflake, and yeah. Embody might help him become a bit more defensive, because Cryogonal are not able to take many hits as you may think. So giving him a Steel typing will actually rule out his weakness to Steel as well as Rock, as far as I recall. And it will add a lot more variety, because the fact that Cryogonal can actually learn Flash Cannon originally by TM, I think is a lot more unique of the fact that being a Steel type as well as an Ice type will mean that he's able to get a bigger stat difference. Now for my number 1 spot, and you actually would highly suggest this yourself, but I haven't even got a photo to show this. But I've decided all region starter Pokemon from Generation 1 to Generation 6. I'm not suggesting Generation 7, mainly because they were not long introduced. And even though, yes, when X and Y came out, they introduced the Diancie event, and then very next year, when they introduced Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, they created a Mega form for it. So Nintendo was one step ahead in thinking what to do for Diancie. But if they are able to do that for Decidueye, Incineroar, and Primarina, then that's fair enough. But because Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, Swampert, Blaziken, and Sceptile were able to be given a Mega form, where's the love going to go for the other starter Pokemon of Meganium, Typhlosion, Feraligatr, Torterra, Empoleon, Infernape, Serperior, Emboar, Samurott, Greninja, Delphox, and Chestnut? Where is going to be the love for them? So that's why I think all starter Pokemon deserve to have a Mega Evolution. Because it spreads it out evenly, it makes it seem fair, and it shows a love for every single starter Pokemon, depending on which one you love the most. So, okay, so we're coming to the end of that video. As I said, to call things an end. If you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a like at the bottom of the screen. And if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. And I would love for everybody in the entire world to give me as much support as they can, because obviously I'm not really the best YouTuber in the world, let's be honest. I'm very terrible at like coming up with comments of what to talk about when I'm in the middle of doing something, like I was in Super Mario Sunshine. I'm terrible at positioning the iPad in the right camera angle, because as you can see right here, it's actually at the diagonal setting, which makes it even more difficult for you to see, because you're most likely going to be like that, trying to see what the camera is doing, and then moments later it'll be like this, and you have to change it. So yeah, I'm terrible at positioning the camera at the most correct angle, because basically my bed is not the best of making it a level angle, and it's not technically the best at anything, to be honest. The only thing it's good at is for you to sleep on. So yeah, if you're new to this video and you enjoyed it, please give a like at the bottom, like I said earlier on. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, the subscribe is right down there as well. And if you want to see more of my videos involving the top 10, please don't forget to put a comment in this video to suggest which video you want me to do next involving the top 10. Do you want me to do option 1 or option 2? Obviously, I'm not going to be putting up a tab and whatever, but you kind of get the actually, speaking of which, I got like these right here. So yeah, you see these 21 there. So you got option 1 and option 2. Like I said, I'm not going to be putting up tabs or whatever, so you're just going to have to write down in the comment. Yeah, you got to choose in the comment which one do you want. Do you want? See, like I say, I am terrible at this. I am terrible. Do you want option 1 or do you want option 2? Yeah? If you want option 2, just put down option 2. If you want option 1, just put down option 1. Okay? So I'm going to be ending it off here. So next time in my videos, I'm going to be showing you the next top 10 list depending on what you have chosen between 1 and 2. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys then.